Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This video is Game Week 4 tips, everything you need to know before that deadline. Includes injury updates, we've had an international break, loads of players have been injured. Game Week 4 dataset which includes the worst defenses, so teams you want to target, and the best attack. We're going to look at captaincy this game week. Can you go against Mohamed Salah? We're going to discuss that. And also cover the best players to buy in each position. Now if this sounds good to you, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. Right, let's quickly run through the injury updates. During international break, players have been injured and Omar Marmoush is a perfect example. Got injured playing for Egypt. The tackle wasn't great to be fair, and now it's sounding like it could be a bad injury. We don't know, it's very early, but Manchester City have already put out a statement saying he's definitely missing this upcoming game week, but we don't know how long he'll be out for. But it's not looking good. If you do own him, I would personally contemplate selling him. The next player we're going to look at here is Fulkrug. I mean, I started the season with him and I've already got rid of him. I was frustrated with his minutes, and then Wilson's performed well every time he's come on. Now when we add that in international break, he was sent home from Germany because he had a slight calf strain. Sounds like Potter's already given us a bit of an update and he might be okay, but I'm not sure if you want to risk it. I mean, he is cheap enough. You could keep him on the bench, but I'm not sure if you want to continue losing value on him. For me, he's a sell as well. Saka and Saliba were injured before the international break, but I thought I'd give a quick update because training pictures have started to emerge, but both haven't been seen training. Now, Arteta will give his press conference on Friday, so hopefully he gives us an actual positive update, although really, you never get an update from him. This is more of an update because a lot of us are starting to look at Arsenal because by game week 7, their fixtures will be turning and looking real good, and we're going to want to triple up or double up on Arsenal. Now, Sar's injury has caused a lot of problems. A lot of people went there already for game week 3, and he delivered with an attacking return. He did get injured in that fixture. In his post-match interview, he confused us. He made it sound like it was nothing and he was fine. Obviously, we've had a better update to say no, it is an actual hamstring injury, which is a big shame for the owners. If you look at the fixtures, Sunderland and West Ham, they're the two money fixtures you wanted him for. I've got an update on there you can see from James saying that Sky don't think it's a severe injury. He's definitely going to miss the next fixture, but he might be back sooner than people thought. Because at one stage it sounded like a long-term injury with it being a potential grade 2 tear. He's at a price that you might want to bench and get some more information next game week. But again, listen to the press conference and let's see if Glasner gives us some more information. But it's not looking good for Sar owners, and you might want to start looking at potential replacements, which I will discuss later on in the video. Matheus Cunha is another player loads of managers went for in game week 3 because it was a gorgeous fixture for Manchester United against Burnley, and unfortunately he got injured. I mean, loads even captained him, so it's a big shame. It sounded like he's going to miss the Man City game. You could see the update at the bottom there. We're not quite sure on long-term timelines. He was pictured midweek in the gym training, but I don't think that was actual running. There's a big difference between being in the gym, doing maybe upper body work, than actual doing ball work on the grass. So it's not sounding positive if you are a Cunha owner. Cole Palmer's a player who's frustrated me. I currently own him, and I spoke about it in my transfer plan video, what I'm going to do if he is not fit for this upcoming game week, which is Brentford. So I've taken a gamble. I've kept him in the team for the international break. The problem is we've not had an update via Glasner or anyone else regarding his fitness, if he's going to be ready. But Chelsea did put out training pictures and he wasn't pictured in any of them, which is not a good sign. If he's not doing team training, he might still be doing individual work, which doesn't bode well for me and for you Palmer owners. Now, before I finish up on the injury section, Aina, the Nottingham Forest defender, he got a slight injury. I'm not sure how long that is. I didn't get enough information. Hopefully the new manager Ans gives us an update in a press conference. I think that rounds up the injury updates. Time to look at some game week 4 data. This might help you in making your potential transfers. It might help you who to captain and who to bench and who to start. Let's have a look at the game week 4 matchups. This is using data taken from Solio Analytics. The standout fixture for this upcoming game week is Liverpool versus Burnley. Liverpool predicted to score 2.4, so near 3 goals for this game week. Look at the clean sheet odds, 43%. So if you own any Liverpool assets, you're in business here. If you own any Burnley assets like Dubravka and Esther, best we leave them far on the bench. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest, the data looks pretty favourable for Arsenal as well. Clean sheet odds of 44%, which I think is the highest this game week. I mean, Arsenal defence just super consistent. If you own them, you play them. And we'll talk more about Arsenal defenders in the best players to buy section later. Arsenal predicted to score at least 2 goals for this upcoming fixture. So if you own Gyökeres or considering buying him, maybe this is still a decent entry point here. Nottingham Forest under Nuno last season was solid. The start of this season, not so much. They've been conceding. He has left his post. They've got a new manager, Ange. Now, you remember his style of football against Tottenham? If he does start to implement that style of football straight away, Arsenal might even score 3 or 4 goals in this game. Crystal Palace versus Sunderland. As you can see, Crystal Palace predicted to score 1.69 near 2 goals and clean sheet odds of 43%, which is lovely. If you own Munoz or any of their defensive contribution monsters at the back, you're going to play them. This is why it's so frustrating for Sarr owners with that injury. This was a gorgeous fixture for him. If you own Mateta, potential captaincy. We'll talk about captaincy a bit more again in the next section. Newcastle versus Wolves. Newcastle predicted to score 2 goals. Wolves have looked poor defensively, and we'll talk about that a bit more soon. Newcastle's clean sheet odds, 43%, look lovely as well. What I will say about Newcastle is I'm not quite sure who to pick from their attackers, to be honest. Whether it's Alanga, Barnes, Gordon's got the red, the 2 new strikers. I'm not sure. But if you do own them, this is a decent fixture to target. Chelsea versus Brentford. Again, another fixture which potentially has goals. Unfortunately, Palmer doesn't look like he's going to play in it, but I still have Cucurella or João Pedro. It looks pretty promising here. Brentford's clean sheet odds are just 16% for this fixture. And the last game I'll talk about is Manchester City versus Manchester United. And Manchester City are predicted to score at least 2 goals in this fixture with clean sheet odds of 30%. Seems pretty high to me. I can easily see Manchester United getting a return in this game here. They could even probably win it the way Manchester City have been defending so far this season. Let's just say they've not been that convincing. So maybe the data's being pretty kind to Manchester City. Next, let's have a look at the worst defenses so far. This is ordered via expected goals conceded, which is a good barometer. So not just the goals conceded, because some teams do get lucky. They either play a team that are just missing all their chances, bad finishing, or the goalkeeper's overperforming. I mean, Everton's a good example of that. They've conceded, their XG is quite high. They've only conceded 3 goals. Burnley and Wolves are the top 2. So you can see why Newcastle and Liverpool attackers this game week look pretty good. Everton, Fulham, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest. Imagine that, Nottingham Forest are there before even Ange takes over. But these are the defenses so far which have been freeing up chances. Bear in mind, it's a small sample size of data that I'm looking into. It's only 3 game weeks. Now let's have a look at the Premier League's best attacks so far. Again, I'm only using 3 weeks data. I've ordered it via XG in open play, not including penalties. And as you can see, Manchester City at top. Manchester United surprised me. But bear in mind, some fixtures have really buffed this up. So Man United's data against Burnley was ridiculous. So their numbers are very, very high. Bournemouth being very impressive. Their attack still looks gorgeous. And then Brighton, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool. Look at Liverpool. Arguably one of the best attacks in Premier League who have just added Isaac, but yet their numbers don't look that great. They've overperformed at the moment. So hopefully you've got attackers from these teams playing the worst defenses from the other graphic. That's the sort of combination you want for game week 4. Let's talk captains. The best captain this game week here, Mohamed Salah, surely. I've got him top of the pile, playing Burnley. He's had a slow start to the season, and it's summed up by that stat there. Minutes per attempt, 67.5. That's ridiculous. Basically, almost 1 shot a game. That is not the Mohamed Salah we expect to see. So clearly, that's a result of him probably still warming up this season. And also, Liverpool's first 3 fixtures were horrid. But this game week, they have Burnley away. He's expected to score 7.3 points, so near 8 points for this upcoming game week. His expected data so far for the first 3 game weeks is not that great, 0.31. Minutes per attempt we've already discussed, and his season predictions, he's there predicted for near 15 goals and 10 assists, so still a pretty good season if you ask me. I think the second best captain is Erling Haaland. Now, if you saw an international break, in his last game against Moldova, he scored 5 goals and got 2 assists. I know it's only Moldova and international football, but still, what a machine. He has Manchester United at home. Manchester United under Amaron still don't look great. And Manchester City's attack has looked not too bad, albeit defensively, they look a little bit susceptible as well. Haaland is predicted to score 6.15, so basically 6 points. His expected data so far this season's been very good. His minutes per attempt, look at the difference between him and Salah. He's having a shot every 20 minutes basically, which tells you how heavily involved he is in Manchester City's attack. And his season predicted data looks incredible. He's predicted to be the Golden Boot winner. But we only care about game week 4 here, and it is pretty close. The fixtures might look much more difficult, but Manchester City, if they're on it, they're easily capable of scoring 2 or 3 goals against that Manchester United team. And my third favourite captaincy for game week 4 is Mateta. Sunderland at home. Gorgeous fixture. It's been hindered a little bit with Sarr being out, Sarr being one of their best attacking threats since Ezza's gone. So that's a bit of a shame, but still, he is predicted near 6 points for this upcoming game week. His expected data so far this season hasn't been great. They've had 3 difficult fixtures, albeit Crystal Palace have done really well in those games. He hasn't had as much chances, which you'd like to think he's going to get in this fixture against Sunderland at home. His minutes per attempt is still superior to Mohamed Salah so far, so that tells you something. 42.7 minutes. And his season predicted data is not bad for a £7.5 million striker, near 12 goals and 3 assists. The other potential captains here, João Pedro has been on form and that Brentford fixture is not too bad. Gyökeres is also a good shout. They are playing Nottingham Forest, but this is Angie's Nottingham Forest, plus Forest have been conceding goals this season. And lastly, maybe any other Liverpool attackers. So if you're confident in Gakpo starting, Vert starting, and maybe even Ekitike, as Isak might only get 10 or 15 minutes, those 3 are more than perfect captain candidates. But for me, if you own Mohamed Salah, it's very difficult to go against him this game week here. All right, let's have a look at the best players to buy in each position. So before you confirm that transfer, you might want to check this out. Let's have a look at the forwards first. The obvious forward is Haaland. I mean, everyone would buy him, but he's very expensive, 14 million. The reason he's in my list here is because I'm selling Palmer, which means I'll have loads of money. And if I got a player like Dewsbury Hall, a cheap enabler, I could easily move Watkins up to Haaland, a player that is predicted to be the Golden Boot winner this season. Relentless. Just scored 5 goals the other day in international break. But it would mean changing the structure of your team. The other 2 forwards I really like are Mateta and Gyökeres. Mateta is more short term. The next 2 fixtures are gorgeous. You're getting in there and hoping for instant returns. Sunderland and West Ham, 2 gorgeous fixtures. Gyökeres, some of the fixtures are a bit more tricky. Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Man City, there's some more difficult fixtures, but he's a long-term hold because if you know Arsenal's fixtures in game week 7 change, and then all of a sudden you're looking at a player in your team that takes penalties, playing for one of the best teams in Europe, then Gyökeres looks much better in your team. Let's talk about the midfielders. So there's not many expensive midfielders left. Apart from Bruno and Mbeumo, Cunha's injured, Son's gone, Saka's still injured. So if you are selling someone like Palmer like me, you're going to go down to the cheaper midfielders. Semenyo so far has shown us he's just an outstanding player. And he's one of those players you could just leave in your team week in, week out. I mean, even in international break, he seemed to frustrate. He missed a couple of sitters. That's one of his only weaknesses in his game. Just the last part, the finishing. I'm hoping he does get that soon. But at that price, you could leave him in most game weeks. And you saw the data earlier on. Bournemouth's attacking numbers are excellent and their fixtures are still not too bad. After that, I like Enzo, especially if I'm getting rid of Palmer. Chelsea's fixtures are still good. Chelsea's attacking data is still good. And in 2025, Enzo's been one of the best midfielders, especially if you're looking at the statistics. And lastly, Reinders, 390 minutes in a row for Manchester City in an attacking position. And now Marmoush is out. He might even play further forward. It's a no-brainer. Even at that price, he's gone up. But for managers like me who don't own him, he needs to be high on your list for the players that you want to bring in. I still really, really like him. Let's look at defenders, and one of my favourites is Gabriel. I spoke a minute ago from game week 7, their fixtures are gorgeous and I'd like to double up on that Arsenal defence. But you could jump in on Gabriel now, even with these difficult fixtures. And as you saw, the data earlier on, their numbers, even against Nottingham Forest, look pretty good for a clean sheet. I really like Gabriel, and we know how good he is at attacking the ball, so hopefully a couple of attacking returns as well. Next to him is Munoz. Similar to Mateta, the next 2 fixtures are just incredible, but he's been performing at a ridiculous rate. If you've owned him since game week 1, fair play to you. Returned every game week, even in those hideous, difficult fixtures. I really like him as a player and I'd love to get him into my team ASAP. And lastly, Porro, I know some have sold him. I still like his fixtures. I like how attacking he is. I still think there's more from him. If I could get a chance to get him in the team, I probably would. But these are the defenders that I really, really like. And let me know in the comments what you think about my watch list here. Oh, and I should say, goalkeepers. I didn't create a graphic for them, but David Raya is definitely on my watch list. I did say a double up earlier on Arsenal defense. It would be someone like Gabriel and Raya. Sells has been doing my head in. He was great last season, but unfortunately, not many clean sheets this season. Plus, Ange is coming in. I mean, that style of football there, I can't see many clean sheets in the horizon. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe, get the notifications on so you know when my videos are out, and also when I'm doing a live deadline stream.